All right.
pawns.
So after
after
e6, what
e6,
would black's options be?
Well, he could take with the f. What's the technical way to say that? F takes e, f e. What do you
Yeah,
say?
I would say fe.
Fe. Okay. I just nomenclature wise, I wasn't sure.
Well,
What
low-rated
it said.
players will say stuff like pawn takes pawn,
Yeah.
dumb stuff.
Well, I don't want to sound like an idiot.
Right. Yeah, then I would say fe, yeah.
Okay. So to me, fe. I wouldn't take with the don't take with the queen because
Hmm.
you got the rook.
Yeah. Any other option for black other than fe?
Uh, I mean, you could go backwards with the bishop. So bishop takes e6.
Yeah. Those would be the two logical moves to consider after e6. Would be for black to take with the bishop or pawn.
So how do you decide between, like in this position here, the benefits of maintaining, a solid kind of wall in front of your king and not moving the f pawn?
I don't know yet. We haven't even analyzed them. This is how I'm figuring it out. I'm telling you how I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Black would play either f takes or bishop takes. Now we got to analyze both the moves.
I mean, initially I thought
I couldn't
pawn.
possibly know which one's better until I analyzed them.
I mean, I initially thought pawn, but I don't think that's right.
Well, let's analyze it. Let's say he plays fe. What forcing moves would white have?
So I mean, if he plays fe, then I'm gonna play bishop takes g6. If he takes back with the knight, then I'll queen takes.
Winning a piece.
And then I'm just in good shape.
So now we know that fe just loses.
Yeah.
So maybe bishop takes is better.
So if bishop takes, I mean, there's no way I'm gonna take back with the rook.
Right.
G6 is still defended.
Yeah, I'd say that's just okay for black, and white gave up a pawn.
Yeah.
So e6 isn't quite right because bishop takes e6 wins a pawn, but fe6 would lose.
Right.
But you're on the right track. Let's look at your other candidate move. I forgot. What was it? Obviously, I remember what it was.
It was bishop. Was it bishop g6 initially?
Yeah, bishop takes g6.
So bishop takes g6. Let's see. So we either take back with the knight, we take back with the f pawn.
Right.
I'm inclined to say f takes, because then I'm not gonna take back with the queen.
Well, either way, you won't take back with the queen. Right? I mean, if black plays f takes or knight takes, you won't.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't. Yeah. All right. So bishop takes, f takes. Then I play bishop g5, hitting the knight.
Now it really is a threat.
Yeah.
Definitely. Where do you think that knight would go?
It's got to go f5, right?
I can find a better option. I can find a way better option. You would definitely prefer it. I can guarantee you that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so I guess if it maybe G2.
Yeah, free pawn. That's why black actually played bishop h3 to attack the g pawn.
Yeah.
So if you're playing bishop g6, f g6, bishop g5, hitting the knight, they'll definitely play knight takes g2.
Yeah.
So bishop g5, not a good candidate move there for white.
Hmm.
What other candidate move could white try after bishop takes g6, f takes g6?
Bishop G6, F G6. Bishop G6, F G6. Um. F, uh. Queen D3.
Making the bishop take g2.
Yeah, and then protecting it against H3, wouldn't it?
You said a protect against h3?
With like for the Black Queen.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just going to take your pawn. I don't think you'd love that if they took your g pawn.
Not
I would try to
particularly.
prevent that. I thought we could try one of your old candidate moves
My
after bishop g6, fg.
Knight E3,
Oh, I
defending it.
didn't really mean that. Actually, it looks somewhat reasonable, though. Yeah, what's wrong with 93? It looks pretty good. Oh, I figured it out. There's a tactical problem with it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyways, um, I was talking about e6, though.
Okay.
But I did want to look at that, what you were talking about. And knight e3. There is a good tactical solution here. I was hoping you could find it.
For black or for white?
For black, white
For
just
black.
played here.
Yeah. Um. So black would be uh, knight F3 again.
Interesting move. Interesting candidate move.
And still forking. He's gonna have to. He's pretty much gonna have to take. I'd have
Yeah,
to take with the G pawn, right?
sure.
Then. Um, yeah, that doesn't work because what I wanted to do in my head was get the queen to G4.
I got that covered a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
But you do have the right idea. You do want queen g4. You're right, but the knight is guarding g4, so deflect the knight.
Da, da, da.
Make the knight
So
move away.
well, I've got two options, I guess. Initially,
Yeah.
I can move pawn to D4, but might just take with the C pawn.
Yeah, it doesn't really make him move.
Um, how do hmm.
A common way to deflect a piece
What about
is
rook
to.
f3?
Okay, but listen what I'm going to say. A
Well,
common way to deflect a piece is to capture something that piece is defending. So if you want to make the knight move away from g4, capture something that the knight is defending. So the knight will recapture.
so sacrifice the bishop on g2?
Exactly. Exactamundo. X-Clan. So now we can finally play queen g4.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no way to defend.
Yeah, then that's mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Classic deflection. Make the guy move away with a capture. He doesn't really have to take, but if he doesn't, then you're pretty successful.
Yeah.
You know, you took the pawn just like you wanted. And they didn't, and they played here to stop you, and they didn't. You just took it.
Mm-hmm.
So knight e3 wouldn't be a great move. But yeah, I was talking about e6. X-Clown. My thing froze here for a minute. All right, but anyways, I think I'm back here. E6 X-Clown.
So,
Remember, you suggested this move back here after
Yeah.
bishop h3, initially e6.
yeah.
But yeah, you could take and then play e6. He'll still play the same move he would have played if you played e6 first. You remember if you played e6 first, what he would have done?
Yeah, take with the bishop.
Yeah, so here he would still take with the bishop.
Yeah.
Then I think bishop g5, as you mentioned, is the best candidate move after the forcing move. After that. So we arrive at this position. Now we're done looking at forcing moves. We can finally evaluate. After all that calculation, we came to a stopping point and we can evaluate. That's not easy to do either, but I was hoping you could tell me your evaluation of this position. Who's better and why?
Who's better?
Yeah.
I mean, part of me wants to have black. It seems like the pieces are a little bit more active. It's pieces seem to be a little bit better defended. White seems to have I don't know, has a little bit of real estate on the black side.
So it sounds like you'd rather have black overall, though.
I think I probably would.
Well, there's a huge problem for black that you didn't mention. His doubled, isolated G-pawns?
Yeah, and not a whole lot in front of the king.
Yeah, his king is weak, and he's got long-term weak pawns.
Yeah.
Pawns that could be attacked the entire game. And in the endgame, that's going to be even worse. Probably black's a little bit worse here, even.
Okay.
But, I don't really think white's pieces are badly placed. They all look pretty good. You go here, and what's wrong with the pieces? They all look fine. Knight MF1 isn't even bad either. Just pop up in the center whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, white's position is pretty solid. He just has a better pawn structure. That's all.
Okay. I can see that.
This is the best variation, but there is a move that we hadn't discussed after bishop takes g6. Here.
Yeah.
We only have been looking at f takes.
So, knight takes.
Yeah, why not knight takes? What would white do after that?
I think I'd still push the e-pawn.
Possibly. Definitely possibly. What would black play after that?
mean, he could either f takes e, but then you run into queen takes g6.
I mean, it's the same move every time.
Yeah.
Bishop e6. Every time e6 has been played, we've been meeting it with bishop takes.
Yeah.
Remember, the first time we looked at it was first of all, but we decided bishop takes was even just fine for black.
Mm-hmm.
Give up the pawn for no serious reason. But right, this one would be losing to takes and winning a piece. You know, white's winning here. Blunder.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take first and then knight takes, they play e6. Obviously, f takes the same position. F takes would still lose to queen takes.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of f takes, it's bishop takes. But this is the same position, equal position that we looked at again. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a problem at all for black. Black has no structural problem or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And this would still be winning. So e6 at once wouldn't really make sense. Bishop takes, knight takes, e6 wouldn't really make sense either. But bishop takes, knight takes, there's a different forcing move white could try other than e6. And it's actually kind of ruining black's position for knight takes. That would be losing. What other forcing move, what winning forcing move could white, consider?
Bishop takes, knight takes. I feel like the rook on e1 wants to do something, but I don't.
Yeah, but I asked you for a winning forcing move. So
Yeah, I know.
Do something pretty good, you know? Gotta do something pretty hardcore to be just a winning move right away. Like rook e3, he'll just move his bishop back. It's not a big deal. Bishop f5 even, if you've already traded the bishops away. But there is a capture that white could consider. You looked at it earlier and it was losing. But now it's not losing after bishop takes knight and knight takes on g6.
G takes h3?
Yeah, gh is now winning. This is actually what's making bishop g6 such an exclam move. F takes is forced. Because if the knight takes, then we can get away with taking on h3 now that there's no knight here to support mate.
Mm-hmm.
And if the queen takes, there's no mate on g2 threatened.
Yeah.
So white can take his time, for example, just kick the queen away.
Yeah. There's the
And be
g3.
winning.
There's the e3. I knew it was there somewhere.
Yeah, definitely, he's coming in.
I knew it was coming somewhere. I just didn't know when.
Well, it even happens a little earlier in the game, because this
Yeah.
didn't happen in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it happens even earlier, so you were more right than you knew. So yeah, knight g6 is a blunder because of g. Now that would normally be the preferable way to recapture. You don't want to give yourself double isolated pawns
Right.
like you have to with f takes, but that's the deal. Knight takes just loses because of gh, not because of e6, and then it's the same equal position
Yeah.
after bishop takes, and not f takes losing the knight. So let's see. This e6 wouldn't be losing, but it would be dubious because it's so equal to just take this way. So yeah, that's it. E6, bishop g6. That's the idea. You have to do it in the right order. Bishop g6 first, e6 next. And the best you can get is this position, which you should evaluate for is good for white, although you didn't. But definitely the pawn structure is the only real defining feature.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't look at that. I did look at it last week.
Right. Yeah, definitely. The pawn structure is pretty. Well, all things being equal, pawn structure is pretty important. It's like a tangible advantage,
Sure.
but it's sort of the least important of tangible advantages.
Sure.
I'll
Sure.
say, like material is pretty important.
Yeah, absolutely.
But okay. Anyways, I didn't do any of that. I had white here, and I played rook e3 as suggested. Instead of the correct bishop takes g6 followed by e6. So it's pretty clear that it's bishop g2.
Mm-hmm.
And then dropped e6. So things are getting a little bit spicy here at this point, as you could probably tell.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how it goes sometimes. We already know that f takes is not possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
From previous calculation.
Yeah.
The knight on g6 would still be hanging.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to move the queen. I'll tell you the two normal squares are going to be d6 and e7.
Yeah.
But one of them is better than the other. I was hoping you could figure out why.
My initial first thought was e7. To me that kind of stops the slow march of the pawn. But I guess e7's already defended with the
Knight.
knight.
Definitely.
So if it's queen d6, then I feel like there's some kind of trick, like d6, and I don't know what white's moves are, but like d6, then knight f3, then queen g2 or something. I mean h2 or something like that. But that doesn't work because there's the knight on f1.
But anyways, you should try to figure out white's moves. If queen d6, what is white going to do? You got to look for white's forcing moves.
So if queen d6, I almost want to say rook g3. Really kicking that bishop.
Look for more forcing than that. That does make a threat, but you've got to check.
Yeah, I mean there's knight f3.
Whoa, hold on. I mean, we're looking.
Wait a minute. Are we talking? We're talking about white. I'm sorry.
Yeah, after queen d6. There's a check that white can play. You just suggested rook g3, which is a reasonable candidate move, but gotta look for your checks first. Checks in the mail.
So e takes f.
Yeah.
Or ef.
The idea is to undermine the knight and try to win it. And try to play rook g3 still like you wanted, with more potential even.
Yeah.
This is the point, to undermine the knight. So either move you should be thinking about ef as the option. It's a check and a capture. And it even has a good purpose there to, like I said, undermine the g6 knight.
I mean, I guess if I and that leads me back to queen e7 instead.
Yeah, so you could take with the queen?
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you think that variation would go? Queen e7, e takes f7, queen f7. What would white try then?
maybe that's when G3 happens.
Rook G3.
Rook G3.
Reasonable move, except black's winning. Reasonable suggestion for white, and this is why this variation is not good though, because black does have a winning move there, a winning forcing move after Rook G3. Can you find it?
Hang on, let me look for it.
Sure.
Knight F3.
King G2, right? No, only move really.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Doesn't look too bad. Any other checks that black has instead of knight F3?
I don't know what it looks like, but Queen F2. It seems like it's bad, but
What would white do after that?
just King takes F2, right?
Seems illegal to me.
Oh well, I guess there's the rook on F8.
Yeah. So they would just sign the score sheets at that point because it's mate.
So that's a good move.
Yeah, Queen F2 mate is pretty good. That's why Queen E7 is better than Queen D6, because the queen will take here, threatening mate. You don't have time to do stuff like Rook G3, Bishop G6. You don't have time for all your stuff then. But neither of us understood that. Queen D6 question mark. Rook G3 question mark. Obviously the move, as you figured out, well, this is Queen E7. Unclear. But it's going to be, after Queen D6, obviously EF.
Yeah.
Winning. For example, well, he's got two options, right? Two captures.
Mm-hmm.
Rook takes looks more normal.
Yep.
So let's look at that one first. What would white do after rook takes?
I feel like we're back in that, like, bishop takes G6 type thing.
How did that go?
Well, poorly.
Oh, why? What was the variation?
Two defenders and one attacker.
Okay, but tell me some chess moves.
All right, so if rook takes F7, bishop takes G6, knight takes G6, then I guess that's equal material. I'm not going to retake.
Well, white has a good capture that's not giving up the queen. A different capture.
So takes. King G2. Can I do that?
Why not? It looks like it. Yeah, the knight's gone.
Yeah.
The bishop's hanging. The knight's overloaded. That's the problem with knight takes on G6.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll notice that if rook takes F7, bishop takes G6, queen takes G6, it's the same problem. White
Yeah.
will trade queens. Queen takes g6, knight takes g6, so black's knight will still have to take,
Mm-hmm.
and then lose the
And you
bishop.
still take G2.
Right. So we see rook takes loses. What about king takes?
So king takes. I guess, D6. I mean, bishop G6 again.
Keep it going.
And then queen G6.
Yep.
And then queen takes G6 again.
Yep.
And then we're back in the same boat with the knight taking on G6.
So maybe not knight takes.
So maybe king. Well, I guess king can take the queen.
It's the only other option.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. No.
No, definitely.
All the moves start kind of running together when I'm trying to keep track of them.
Like a broken egg yolk. Definitely.
It
All right,
just
so
seems
you got
so
the
weird to
king
intentionally
there.
put your king out there. You know what I
Well,
mean?
you don't want to lose a piece.
Well,
you
sure.
know?
Yeah.
And we traded the queens, so at least it's not getting mated immediately. So
True.
what would white play after that? All this stuff's gone, and his king's on g6.
So what does white play again?
Yeah.
G2.
Illegally? Dang.
Well, what's
Knight's there.
oh knight? Yeah, I was thinking the knight had gone backwards.
Yeah, we're avoiding that. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what black's avoiding.
So rook E6.
Almost. Rook g3. We're talking about this move too. Winning the pieces
then-
for the rook.
Yep.
For sure, because it's a fork.
Yeah. Okay.
Got him. So this is why e takes f was winning. But I played rook g3 too early, letting him take it.
Well, at least I was in good company.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll have to pick it up here next time.
Okay.
But good job fighting your way through these forcing variations.
I
Just
appreciate
make
it,
sure
man.
you analyze first and then evaluate second. A lot of times people are like, which move should I play? I don't know which is better. You analyze them. Then you'll know which is better.
So
Hopefully.
what should I be doing for the next week in terms of like practice, like tactical thing, like tactics
You gotta do
trainings?
tactics
or?
every day. Tactics training every day for sure.
Okay.
And play some humans. Some slow games against humans if you can.
Okay.
Then we could even analyze them
Okay.
if you wanted. But computer games are dumb.
Yeah, it's just they're frustrating to play.
Definitely. Yeah, I'll put a note in here to look at your own games. So I'll ask you about it, but you'll have to remind me too.
Yeah, sure I will. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Same time next week?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, take it easy. Bye.
All right, man. Have a good one.